we have our second type of special right triangle, the 30, 60, 90 triangle. Now in that one, remember, we have a hypotenuse. We have two legs again, but this time they're not the same length. I have a shorter leg across from the 30-degree angle and a longer leg across from the 60-degree angle. Now here is the set of formulas down here that you use for a 30, 60, 90. And one very important point is that always find the short leg first. Okay, that's the rule for 30, 60, 90s. Find the short leg first and then find anything else. If they didn't give you the short leg, you find it first. And here are the formulas for finding the short leg. If they gave you the hypotenuse, the short leg is the hypotenuse divided by 2. If they gave you the long leg, the short leg is equal to the long leg divided by the square root of 3. Okay, so again, if they didn't give you the short leg, you find it first. If they did, and after you have the short leg, then you can go find the hypotenuse and the long leg. The hypotenuse is the short leg times 2. The long leg is the short leg times the square root of 3. Make sure you have these formulas in your notes, as well as a big thing that says find the short leg first. Alright, so right here we have an example. Let's go ahead and work through it. Notice we have a right triangle. It has a 30-degree angle. That automatically forces this other angle to be 60 degrees, because remember, the angles inside of a triangle have to add to be 180. So if you have 90 and 30, you're up to 120. To get to 180, this would have to be 60 degrees. Okay, so we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Which side do we know already? Well, the side we know is the one across from the right angle, which is always that longest side, and it's called the hypotenuse. Let's take a look at our other parts too. So x here, notice, is our short leg by appearance, and also it's across from our smaller angle. The long leg is across from the bigger angle, and it looks like it's longer. Okay, so if we follow our rule that we set, we're going to find the short leg first. So we go down here, and we have two formulas for short leg equals. It's either the hypotenuse divided by 2 or the long leg divided by the square root of 3. Well, we don't know the long leg, so there's no way we could use this one. We're going to have to use this one because we know the hypotenuse. Okay, so there's the formula we're going to use. The short leg is equal to the hypotenuse divided by 2. Okay, our short leg was x equals our hypotenuse of 18 divided by 2. So x equals 18 divided by 2, which is 9. Now let's find y. Y is the long leg, so we go over to our formulas and say, how do we find the long leg? You want the one that says long leg equals. And when we come over here, there it is. The long leg equals the short leg times the square root of 3. Okay, so again, formula we're using is that the long leg is equal to the short one times the square root of 3. Our long leg was y. Our short leg was our x, but we just found out that that was 9. So we have our short leg is 9 times the square root of 3. It wanted it left in simplest radical form, so we would just leave it as 9 times the square root of 3. Okay, here's another example involving a 30, 60, 90 triangle. We're asked to find the values of x and of y. So again, make sure you notice this is 30, 60, 90, and you look up those formulas in your notes. Also note we're supposed to find the short leg first. Well, what part do we know here? Okay, well, the hypotenuse is across from the right angle, so that would make this one the hypotenuse, that longest side. Okay, the short leg is the one that both looks shorter and is across from the 30-degree angle, and then the long leg is the longest one across from the 60-degree angle. Okay, we're supposed to find the short leg first, but notice the short leg is the one we know, so we found it. It's 12. Easy peasy. We still need to do what they asked and find x and y. Well, let's find either one. Let's say we wanted to find x, it's the long leg. So go to your formulas. What's the long leg equal to? Hopefully you saw that it's equal to the short leg times the square root of 3. So we put in our values. The long leg was x, the short leg was 12. So our long leg, x, is equal to 12 times the square root of 3. And again, it wanted it in radical form. That's what this square root symbol is called, as a radical. So we leave it in radical form. So our answer would be 12 times the square root of 3. Okay, next let's find our hypotenuse, our y. Okay, how do we find the hypotenuse? So look at your formulas. The hypotenuse is equal to what? Well, you should see that it's equal to the short leg times 2. So our hypotenuse of y is equal to the short leg, which was length 12, times 2. And 12 times 2 is 24. So we were able to solve for x and y pretty quickly because we have those formulas. X is 12 times the square root of 3, and y is 24.